The ghost of who they were no longer has a seat at your table. While the masses are busy drowning in the shallow end of their own emotions, living in a graveyard of what-ifs and could-have-beens, a hidden elite moves through the wreckage of relationships with a terrifying, silent grace. Most people are haunted. They sit in the dark, scrolling through digital ghosts, replaying old conversations like a broken record, and wondering where it all went wrong. They are starving for the presence of people who wouldn't even pause to check their pulse. They are biological puppets, dancing to the rhythm of memories that should have been incinerated months ago. They think they missed a person. They don't. They missed the drug of validation that person provided. They are walking open wounds, begging a phantom to return and fill a hole that was never meant to be filled from the outside. But the untouchable mind has no room for ghosts. Carl Jung once whispered truth so sharp it draws blood. The world is not doing anything to you. It is only showing you who you are. If a departure crushes you, it's not because the person was special. It's because you built your house on the shifting sands of someone else's opinion. Missing someone is just a symptom of a leaky spirit. It is a confession that you are not enough in your own company. It is the sound of an ego crying because it lost its favorite mirror. Until you integrate your shadow, you will keep searching for pieces of yourself in other people. And when those people leave, you feel like a limb has been torn off. Stop being an amputee of the soul. The average person spends 80 years trying to control the wind. They want people to stay, they want loyalty to be guaranteed, and they want the universe to be fair. It is a pathetic, exhausting way to live. It is the ultimate hallucination of control. You cannot dictate the storm, but you can become the mountain. The mountain doesn't ask the birds for permission to exist. It doesn't negotiate with the clouds. It simply remains. If you are truly at peace with your own existence, the departure of another human is nothing more than a change in the weather. It is data. It is a shift in the environment. It is not a tragedy. The sky does not miss the clouds when they vanish. It remains the sky. You must become the sky. Why do you grieve for someone who chose a reality that doesn't include you? To miss someone is to tell the universe that your happiness is a hostage held in a room you can't enter. It is the ultimate form of self-betrayal. You are essentially saying, I am a hollow shell, and only they have the substance to make me whole. That is a lie. That is a junk habit of a mind that hasn't mastered its own perception. This isn't just darkroom philosophy. It's a brutal rewiring of your nervous system. Neuroscience proves that missing someone is just a chemical withdrawal. Your brain is craving the dopamine hit of their attention. Most people are just junkies, shaking in the dark, waiting for a text back so they can feel normal again. They are slaves to their own neurochemistry. But you can snap the circuit. You can build a buffer zone between the memory and the ache. You can train your brain to see a goodbye and feel nothing, not a cold, dead nothing, but a vast, oceanic silence. The elite understand the transient law. People are seasons. Some are here to harvest, some are here to burn, and some are just passing through to show you where you are still weak. When a person leaves your life, they are doing you a favor. They are revealing exactly where your attachments were. They are showing you the hooks you left out for the world to snag. The moment someone walks away, the leash is cut. You should be celebrating your freedom, not mourning your cage. Why do you give so much power to ghosts? Why do you let people who don't even know your soul dictate the quality of your afternoon? If you are truly at peace with yourself, someone leaving should be as interesting as the sound of a distant lawnmower. It's just noise. It's just data. It has no access to your core unless you open the door and invite it in. The people who are truly untouchable are the ones who have mastered the observe, don't absorb protocol. They watch the betrayal, they see the exit, and they simply note it. Interesting, they think. The landscape is changing. Then they go back to their mission. When you stop being a target, people stop shooting. When you stop missing the past, the future finally has room to arrive. The paradox is that the person who misses no one is the most magnetic person on earth. They aren't vibrating with the stench of, please don't leave me. They are a mountain, And the mountain doesn't care which birds decide to fly away. People sense that shift. They realize they cannot shake you. They cannot manipulate your peace because you own your energy. Most people fail this test because they are addicted to their own suffering. Evolution has wired the brain to prioritize loss over gain. Your amygdala is a frantic security guard screaming at the empty chair where someone used to sit. But the untouchable mind rejects the comfort of the victim. You must be willing to let your old self die, the version of you that needed to be wanted. Think about the sheer audacity of believing that someone owes you their presence. The elite don't pray for people to stay. They pray for the strength to stand alone. They don't look for the exit when the room gets quiet. They look for the center of the silence. This requires a radical divorce from your ego. The ego is the part of you that feels abandoned. But who is there to be abandoned? If you are a vast, empty space, where does rejection land? It's like trying to punch a hole in the wind. The world is a hall of mirrors, and you are terrified of the empty ones. You see someone leave and feel empty, not realizing that the emptiness was already there. The person was just a distraction from it. But when you master the shadow, the mirrors lose their power. Your interpretation is your only reality. If you decide that goodbye is a cleansing of the spirit, then it is. Stop asking for the world to stop leaving. It won't. The noise is constant. The departures are inevitable. The betrayals are guaranteed. But the void only hurts if you try to fill it with trash. If you become the tomb, the place where the desperation goes to die, you unlock a level of power that looks like magic. You become the person who can watch an entire social circle vanish and not feel a single flicker of fear. The game of your entire life is won or lost in the split second between the memory and the reaction. In that gap, you're either a puppet or a god. You can choose to let your heart rate be dictated by a ghost, or you can choose to be the observer of a longing. One path leads to a life of frantic, noisy desperation. The other leads to a throne of internal power. Master your perception, and you realize the world never had any power over you at all. It was an illusion you participated in. It was a spell you cast on yourself. You don't miss them. You just haven't met yourself yet. So, let the memories fade into the gray static where they belong. Don't look back. Don't wonder why. Don't wait for an explanation that will never satisfy you anyway. Just watch them exit with a quiet, lethal smile, knowing that your kingdom is intact. Your peace is absolute, and your soul is finally, for the first time, unoccupied. Let the world scream for connection. Let them beg for closure. You are the stillness that remains when the noise stops. You are the mountain, and while the storm may be loud, the mountain doesn't move. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't miss. It just watches.